Look, I suppose I want to start my talk. I'd say that most people in this room have seen this presentation once or twice. Just to sort of point out I suppose the optimism and the hope that exists every time one of these presenters gets up here. It is a difficult job to do. My former chief geologist was up here just before with Black Cat, and a former colleague from Northern Star, Phil Wilding, just preceded me onto the stage here. So it's good to see some of those, particularly the Northern Star colleagues coming up here and presenting. It isn't an easy job to do. I must admit those lights are so bright I can barely see you, so that actually makes it easier for me. But look, that hope and optimism can translate into a story like ours. We were once a sub $100 million market cap company, which, I must admit, it looked pretty dire for a long time there. But out of desperation and maintaining that optimism, and with hopefully a little bit of luck, we ended up creating what is, an incredible story, if I say so myself. And the way we did that, and I think there's a theme getting through the room, just drill. Drill, baby, drill. I saw on the Dreadnought stand. I do love that saying, been saying it for a while. I also say drill it to kill it. And that is not just an offhand statement. If you can't kill it, it will be a mine. And what we've done here is tried to kill a series of ore bodies that we've found, and all we've done is keep growing them, and we can't find the edges. That is the open pit. You can see there, Gilby's open pit. I'll go through where we are in the world, but just to really drive it home, we discovered almost 3 million ounces so far in front of an old open pit that was operating at a loss. It was a difficult situation to be in. I joined the company in November 21 and then promptly shut the mine down almost to the day 12 months later. But we had made a pretty good discovery by that stage, but we had to bring the investment community back to us and really drive home that trust. That optimism wasn't unfounded, that we actually had something very real in front of us. Drill rig, nice glossy photos, just so you can stare at that while I bore the crap out of you with some other numbers. Share price is about $1.35 today. I did go on LinkedIn the other day and make some apologies for our share price sort of floundering despite most gold producers going up. We are not a producer, but we are very, very close to it. We have all the infrastructure in place. We do need to do some study work and prove that we can take this thing into production, but at this stage, we are very much an explorer that's very heavily focused on growing and then delivering a mine plan that makes sense. And that mine plan will come through in the middle of this year. Market cap, $1.7 billion. So to imagine we were less than 100 mil market cap, that hope and optimism and all that drilling that we've done since then has grown that value. And we've made some shareholders extremely happy. And you can imagine why. 1,400% return on investment from where we were in February 23, around 10 cents, or even 8 cents if you count the dip straight after our recap. Ramelius Resources, I was sitting next to Mark this morning, I'm sure everybody noticed, 19.9% shareholder. They topped up on our last raise, which was $220 million at $1.32 late last year. That gives us the funding to take us to that next step and keep drilling. We are situated in the Murchison, as are most of the people that preceded me here. Murchison is a great area. I used to think it was quite a tough area to make money in, but we seem to have hit the nail on the head and actually really ripped off what I thought was going to be quite a tough journey. It's now become quite an exciting journey, and we're planning on making this bigger and better. Right in the middle of the page there is our main Dalgaranga operation. We're 65 kilometres away from Mount Magnet, which is Ramelius' flagship operation, so you can understand why they're interested in what we're doing. We also have 3 million ounces, so that doesn't hurt. Of that 3 million ounces, 2.3 million ounces is 9.3 grams a tonne at this stage. So I've had a lot of people say to me, look, share price is not moving that great. You haven't delivered those great drill results. I'd point you to the 2.3 million ounces at 9.3 we've grown so far, and we aren't stopping drilling. So we have 2 rigs on site right now on surface, 1 underground. I'll go through some pictures just to show you it's actually real. We have put in some underground development, and we're turning this into an underground mine. That is from the air, looking back towards the west. That is our fully permitted processing plant that I shut down at the end of 22. That is a great plant. It's less than 6 years old when I shut it down. It's probably done 4 years of work. Everything's in place, like I say, permitted. So what we need to do is optimise that plant to receive 100% fresh feed from underground, which is what it wasn't built to do. But it is, as I will say, because I'm obviously the chairman, it's going to be a cheap exercise to optimise that plant. I don't know what your definition of cheap is, but it's certainly going to cost some money. But what will come out the other end when we put that 9.3 gram resource, accounting for reserve conversion, to go into that mill, those gold bars will be incredibly profitable, and I'll show you why. Just some resource tables there just to drive home those statistics. We were 700,000 ounces at 1.3, and that was a hard to believe number given we were processing less than 1 gram a tonne through that plant when I shut it down. We are now sitting on 2.87 million ounces at 5.6 grams a tonne, including that 2.3 at 9. We've increased that 400% in terms of ounces and 430% in terms of grade, and we've done that at $16.50 Aussie per ounce delivered in that resource so far. So when you think about the gold price versus how much it costs to deliver that ounce in resource, then account for some reserve conversion, it's still a pretty good trade-off. That is a long section, and it's good to see some of my peers adopting some of these heat maps that we've been creating over the years. We try to create a visualisation that people can really get their heads around. It is difficult to show. I will go through some 3D images, so I apologise for the vertigo up front. But what we try to do is communicate better, because I think as an industry, it's been difficult to get into people's minds exactly what we're trying to do at the moment. What we've done is taken a completely broken company, created a $1.7 billion company, and we've done that through drilling. What we've done here is created these ounces from nothing, and we've put in this drill drive, which is an underground development to allow us to keep drilling and to keep growing those resources, and also provide us with an access to go mining. You can see on the left-hand side there, that's Never Never. Thanks to Pete Harold pointing out it goes down to 1,000 metres. I'd actually forgot about that. We are sitting on 10 metres at 8 grams a tonne at over 1,000 metres below surface. That's our deepest hit at Never Never, and it's still open. So we don't know how big that system can be. At the moment, it's 1.5 million ounces at 8.8. Pepper, that was a pretty exciting discovery in itself. 870,000 ounces at over 10 grams at the moment, still open at depth. There's some people that think it might get cut off. I'm happy to prove them wrong. We will drill to find out. Sorry, let's go back to that slide. This is a cross-section, just again to try and communicate. These ore bodies are incredibly thick. You're not dealing with 2 to 3 metre wide system, you're dealing with a 30 to 50 metre wide system. Our stopes, based on conceptual design, are anywhere between 10 and 50 metres wide, average of 13 metres to 15 metres across those stopes. So it's an incredibly wide ore body, which means you have efficiencies when it comes to mining those ounces. It's not going to require 6 or 7 different mining areas with 6 or 7 costs associated to it. You're going to be mining one giant zone of gold. Top 20 drill hits. The green ones are Pepper. The white ones are from Never Never. I've shown this a few times. These are incredible drill hits. They're not just isolated to just the one part of the ore body. They are spread across both Pepper and Never Never. It is an incredible system, and these are just the top 20. You can imagine, they are cherry-picked because they're the top 20, but you can imagine if these are the top 20 and they're spread everywhere, the amount of gold that sits in this system is quite incredible. This is our growth through discovery. This is what everybody who presents on this dais is hoping to do, is to grow shareholder value through discovery by drilling holes, coming up here, talking to you, convincing you to invest in their story, and then drilling holes and making that sort of thing happen. From 107,000 ounces to 2.4 million ounces at 9.3 grams a tonne in a 2-year period is pretty crazy. Ounces per vertical metre, thank you, Phil. 4,500 ounces per vertical metre through the middle of these two ore bodies, Pepper and Never Never adjacent to each other, over 500 metres of strike length. That's a pretty insane system to be mining. Any mining engineers in the room would be licking their lips thinking about 13 to 15 metre wide stopes, continuous for over 500 metre strike length. That is a once in a lifetime opportunity to mine, and that's how we see it. The blue ovals are where we're drilling, because we believe there's a lot more upside to this system. If we can find almost 3 million ounces in front of what people thought was absolutely a dead duck, believe it, we will be going over 4, and I'm aiming for 5 million ounces at this system. It can be done. And as Phil rightly pointed out, we're only limited by drilling at depth there, so imagine it will get much better as we get further down. This is just to give an indication, conceptual only, don't want to get in trouble with ASIC. You have some grade on the left-hand side, that's our block model for Never Never and Pepper. Never Never's on the left-hand side there. Sorry, I'll just draw some stuff here. Apologies if it looks like I've got palsy. That's Never Never, that's Pepper. And again, these are the ounces in each one of these stopes. Each one of those squares represents a stope. That stope is 25 metres high, 20 metres long, and you're talking about over 10,000 ounces in each one of those red stopes on the right-hand side. So this is an insane system that we've found here. We've recently commissioned an underground rig underground. We've got Australian Underground Drilling on site to do the drilling. We worked very closely with them at Northern Star in the early years and developed a really good relationship. They are incredibly fast at what they do, safe, but they also get the job done, and that's exactly what we were looking for. We've put in all that development on the right-hand side there already. We're looking at 2,350 metres of development. We're over 1,300 metres at the moment, so over halfway there. We already have a rig underground. We hit the ore body as of the first drill hole as of night shift last night. So imagine we've been pretty quiet coming into this year, but we're not going to stay quiet for very long. Just a few more photos there just to entertain the crowd. One of our geologists, I'll just point out there, one of our geologists on the left-hand side, he started out as a graduate from England. As a surface exploration guy, he's ripped into the underground environment and he's got stuck right into it, so very, very happy to transition people who want to go underground. Obviously there's less flies down there, so that's probably why. I'll just rip quickly through this. There's a lot of potential outside of Never Never. I'll just point out where Never Never open pit is. It's that conceptual open pit there. The mill is right here. And we've got these structures that run through that are implicated in the high-grade systems in this area. And there's a number of them that we've been drilling. West Wind's Four Pillars is what we're drilling right now. It's actually the route to the Gilbey's open pit. It might have been a 1.3 gram resource, but when you actually look at why that gold is there, the structural intersections, those black lines, cross-cutting the stratigraphy, or the rocks, you end up with high grade sitting just to the south of it. That's exactly what Never Never is. It's how we predicted where Pepper was. It's why we can safely say that Freak will be something pretty special. We just need to get underground and drill it. I'm running out of time. So I'll draw some more red dots. Those are all existing high grade systems that we will be drilling and are drilling. There's a high grade hit just up here. We'll be chasing after that as well. That's Patient Wolf. Just shift into the 3D here. 2 minutes left. I know you're going to start doing the fingers to me in a minute. This is our conceptual mine design. Something like 50 levels here. You know, this is a new mine. You don't get to do this very often. We come out of an open pit. We put in this blue development here. You can see off to the south there, which is to the right. That's the drill drive that we've currently got underway, and we're on our way down. I'll just go to the next slide. Hopefully that will show us exactly where. So it might be a bit hard to see, but you can see in the tan just here, we're actually mining to design, thank you, engineers, and we've done over half of what we'd planned to do so far in terms of that drill drive. Well, what that does is it allows us to drill from that drill drive straight back at these ore bodies that are sitting underneath that pit. That's simplified, but you can imagine it gives us a lot more flexibility. We're not constrained by any surface infrastructure, and we can get really stuck in. And you can see that's 65,000 metres of planned drilling that we're doing from underground, and we've already started. Just to drive this home, pretty much one singular tabular ore body. From Pepper to Never Never, there is a geological disruption, but it's not an issue from a mining perspective. We'll be mining along strike, and I'm pretty excited about it, and I think our engineers are as well. What are we doing? We've done 150 kilometres of drilling. We're doing 65,000 metres from underground this year and 20,000 metres of surface. We're certainly not stopping, but we are pushing forward on the study work. As I said, it will be delivered in the middle of this year, and that is to prove that this thing will be one of the lowest cost gold operations in Australia. We did a cap raise. That's what we raised it for. I like to tell people exactly why we raised that money, and that's exactly what we're going to spend it on. What are we? High grade, that's proven. Infrastructure, ounces, growth, team, value, catalysts, and future. For us, it's about delivering shareholder value. We've proven we can do that, and we will continue to do that. Thank you.